and welcome to Prestige World. This is the #1 news channel for you. Today we will be discussing the topic of natural resource depletion. So, Rachel, tell me, what is natural resource depletion?
Well, it's the consumption of a resource faster than it can be replenished.
Well, is this a rising problem in our society today?
Yes, natural resource depletion has become a dominant environmental concern. Studies show that humans are using 30% more resources than the Earth can replenish each year, leading to deforestation, degraded soils, and polluted air and water.
Well, how do patterns of human geography affect this issue? Well, let's take it over to our personal environmental expert, Ethan.
Did you know the population between 1960 and 1999 grew by a whopping 3 million? And the more people that we have means more resources that we need. And most people in the world take the resources for granted. And they didn't know that most resources are not renewable, so once they're gone,
Resource depletion is the most commonly found in farming, fishing, mining, water, and fossil fuels. This causes overconsumption, excessive and unnecessary use of resources. For example, when the demands for cod started to rise, people fished so much that the older fish normally stayed near the surface had almost all been caught and used up, leading up to the deeper water, ending up with the harvesting of next season's fish. This is just one of many examples of how our actions are causing a rapid decrease of our resources.
Thank you, Ethan, for that very educational preview. There are other factors affecting resource depletion, such as land use and transportation. An example of misuse of land is deforestation. Trees are our main source of oxygen, and at the rate that we're going, the trees don't have time to grow back, cutting down our supply of oxygen.
In the last 26 years, our cropland has decreased by 76 million acres. And instead of using the land that we do have for growing crops and such, they're using it for productions like factories, recreational areas, and tourist areas.
But Brooklyn, how do these things affect relationships amongst the whole planet?
Well, causes such as pollutants from the factories has a major effect on our ozone layer. Let's take it over to Dakota for more on this subject.
The ozone layer filters out most of the sun's potentially harmful UV radiation. However, if it becomes too depleted, more UV rays will reach the Earth, causing serious impact on humans, animals, and plants. It can cause more cancers, a weakening of the immune system, and reducing growth in plants, such as wheat and tomatoes. It can also cause a disruption of the food chains of both marine and land animals. An example would be if plankton was exposed to increased UV radiation, it may cause skin and eye cancer, which could lead to the plankton dying off. And any other marine animals that eat this as their food could also, and it could go down the food chain until it reaches us.
Thanks, Dakota.
Now, Brooklyn, what could cause humans to be affected by natural resource depletion?
Well, overconsumption is a main factor affecting humans.
But how?
Well, when we are overconsuming those resources, we are slowly depleting those resources. And while we're depleting it, the prices are going to go up because there is less and less and less. And those new expensive prices, well, not everybody can afford those. And if some people can't afford to have food, it can lead to things like starvation.
Some examples of some so-called endangered foods. The prices for chocolate will go up because of the demand for cacao beans. Farmers are also running out of room to plant the crops. Workers are demanding more pay, and that's also why price will go up 7 times the current price. Goat cheese has been overconsumed, and goat farming has been given up on to stop diseases spreading to humans. The reasoning for bacon is the increased price of pig feed and a lethal virus that is killing pigs in 15 of the U.S. states. Climate change, which results in shorter sap harvesting seasons for maple syrup. Rising temperature and decreased rainfall in Italy has lowered the production of durum wheat, the main ingredient for pasta. And sardines are smaller and are getting increasingly hard to find.
As you can see, the effects of resource depletion has become a very real problem in our society. However, scientists and experts have started to come up with possible solutions to stop this rising crisis. Possible solutions could be things like recycling, education, and job opportunities, especially for women. Rachel, tell me, how is education and job opportunities a possible solution for natural resource depletion?
Well, education and job opportunities, especially for women, are crucial components for stopping poverty, gender inequality, and overpopulation, which is a major factor in resource depletion. Studies have found that women that have more education and job opportunities choose to have smaller families and are able to invest more in each child, which helps break the cycle of poverty. But what about recycling? How could that be a possible solution?
Well, recycling is a very common solution today. A well-run recycling program generally costs between $50 to $150 per every ton. Unlike trash collections, as well as other disposal programs, cost between $70 to $200 per every ton. Experts have shown that even though there is space for improvement, recycling can really help to reuse our resources and is also way more cost-effective. Now, to our cost analysis. Stan and Brian.
Brooklyn. I'm Stan.
And I'm Brian.
Recycling is currently funded by provincial governments. Many prefer to set up minimal recycling programs and allow residents to participate voluntarily. However, some are taking an active role in pushing their populations to embrace recycling as a key component of everyday life.
As far as how we could fund education for developing countries, organizations such as the Global Partnership for Education, or GPE for short, work together with national governments to provide grants to low-income countries. They provide the money for developments of schools, textbooks, and teacher training, and social meals.
Would these solutions be logical in terms of the price?
Well, see, the challenge with education is that it would take $26 billion per year to ensure that every child receives a basic education in 2015. The current results have been positive, and for example, since 2003, the GPE has accumulated $4.3 billion in grants to its developing country partners.
Back to you at the station with more information on possible consequences these solutions could lead to.
Okay, go.
Every solution can have possible consequences. Take recycling, for example. Even though it is doing a great job in helping us to reuse old materials, it could still lead to other issues.
That's right, Rachel. Contamination is the biggest obstacle in the recycling industry right now. If there are toxins on the original material, they usually make it through to the recycling process and end up buried in a new product, which could potentially be something that comes in contact with humans. Take pop cans, for example. Sometimes we don't even know if something is contaminated.
And when it comes to consequences regarding education, debates are usually opinion-based. Is it really worth spending all that money? We believe it is, because without it, the whole world would be punished with the slow but damaging effects it has on our resources. The less resources we have, the more desperate people will become. This could lead to wars and other violence that would, without a doubt, change our lives. Believe it or not, some people are still unaware of the problems that have been caused by natural resource depletion. We took a look on that subject. Charlie, can you tell our viewers, do you know what natural resource depletion is?
No, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So, Timothy, are you able to explain what natural resource depletion is? Can you explain to me what natural resource depletion is?
No, I can't explain.
Brittany, can you tell me what natural resource depletion is?
Does it have something to do with, like, whales and stuff?
What natural resource depletion is?
Yes, I know what natural resource depletion is.
From the people we interviewed, only 1 out of 5 were able to tell us what natural resource depletion was.
As you can see, we need to work a lot better together to help educate people on the topic of natural resource depletion for everyone's sake.
For you people who are still unsure about what some natural resources are, here's a few examples.
And that's all for today, folks.
We'll see you next time on Prestige World,
providing solutions for a cleaner Earth.